or I should say good Sunday afternoon to everybody. A very good Sunday afternoon. And I am live on YouTube, IG, and Facebook. And I appreciate you guys taking some time to join Coach Smith and Love the Game 24/7. Because just as I'm doing this live, I still have my TV on watching some NFL. And so today's live is for you young athletes out there pursuing your college dreams of playing at the next level. You know, have you gotten any offers from college coaches? That's what we're discussing today, and how you can possibly change that. And so, but you gotta, take some time and evaluate yourselves. But make sure I'm pointing the correct way. I'm on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button right there, and be sure you subscribe to Coach Smith on YouTube, and be sure you hit that notification bell to notify you when Coach is going live. But I appreciate you guys, man. I've finally solidified our relocation to Dallas, Texas. So I'm excited about being here locally, closer to my grandkids, and being a part of their lives more, I should say more frequently, as opposed to just a couple of times a year during the holidays. But I'm excited about getting back on here more consistent on some lives on YouTube, on my Love the Game 24/7, and on my Coach Smith 27 IG, and also on Facebook for you parents out there. I'm busy. I've gotten back into doing some refereeing, like I did in North Carolina. I'm doing that in Dallas. Had a great past couple of weeks refereeing some Pop Warner football here in the Frisco, Texas area, Dallas area. Frisco Football League, the FFL. Great organization. I like what they're doing. Of course, we always have those parents that can be overzealous into it more sometimes than the kids. And I'll have a podcast on that topic one day. So to try to help parents, out, there's a way we got to be sure we don't cross that line as parents. But overall, man, I've liked the atmosphere out there at the FFL, Frisco Football League, and doing some refereeing. And so I'm getting myself connected with the good people out here who are involved with refereeing, and also looking to do some personal training as well. A lot of great talent out here that I've seen. So, but the main thing is for you high school athletes, right? Some of you middle school kids are getting ready to move on to high school here soon. But for you guys this season, for the current season, I'm jumping on here to ask you, have you gotten offers from college coaches? And if you haven't gotten any offers from college coaches by this time, and you're a 2026 kid, 2027 kid, athlete, and I know I reference football more than anything, because that's football and maybe in track and some basketball, but this is good for any male or female athlete, this topic, for any sport. And so you got to ask yourselves, if I haven't gotten any offers yet at this point, especially for you 2026, 2027 football athletes. 2027 kids, you got some time, but you 2026 kids, your time is now. Okay. And if your coach hasn't had a conversation with you about college coaches coming through, letting you know those types of things, parents, if your son or daughter's not coming to you, telling you that, you got to have some concern, and you got to do something different from what you've been doing. And so my discussion today about that, if you haven't gotten any offers, is evaluate yourselves right now, right? Go and look at your game film, right? Critique yourselves. You can talk to other people about critiquing you, but critique yourself and ask yourself, when you're watching the video, are you standing out? If you were a college coach looking to recruit some young man, some young lady for a scholarship at your institution, at your university, would you recruit yourself? Ask yourself that question. Would I recruit myself? And right now, most of you guys are like right at mid-season or close to around mid-season in football. I think even maybe volleyball is going on right now as well. Some places it might be soccer. I know in North Carolina, during the fall, I think they may have had, either the girls or boys soccer season, and then in coming back after the holiday break, they started the other season. So they never ran, I think, the girls and boys soccer games in North Carolina. If I'm somebody in North Carolina, if you're listening and I'm incorrect, then correct me. But I think in North Carolina, the girls and boys seasons did not go at the same time. They split them up. And so, but you have to ask yourself, young athletes out here, if you haven't gotten any scholarship offers from college coaches right now, and you're a 2026 kid, you got to do something different. And so that's why I'm providing my digital course on October 23rd. So be sure you go to lovethegame247.com right now and get yourself registered and secure your spot. I have a discount code. I'll put it out there for you parents and athletes who want to purchase the digital course and be there and get some great insight on what it is that you need to do to change your situation, to getting offers from college coaches. And that is something you're going to have to start making some adjustments right now if you do not have any offers or offers that you think you deserve to have, depending on whatever level it is you're looking at playing. So I have the LTG, the number 247 for LTG 247 _ FW 2025 is a discount code, right? That's what I have out there for you guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you to use for a 15% discount code if you desire to change your situation and get some good information on changing your situation with college coaches and getting some offers. So here's the, let me put it on YouTube as well as my Facebook. And as I said, it's LTG 247 _ FW 2025. That's what the discount code is for my digital course that's coming up on October 23rd. Unless something changes, that's going to be the date. And it's going to be like 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting at about 6 Central, 7 Eastern time for about an hour and a half. And it'll give parents and athletes an opportunity to ask questions about, especially for you current kids who are looking for scholarship opportunities. You need to go to my website, and I'll put that on there as well. Go to lovethegame247.com. You need to do that to get registered. So I'm going to put all that out here for you to go register and use that discount code to get yourself set up for the digital course, to get information about what you need to change about getting scholarship offers from college coaches for you current athletes right now who are desiring to go play college sports at the next level from high school. And as I said, if you haven't gotten anything now, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting something different, right? And trying to contact coaches. There are several platforms that I have available that I will share about how we can increase and improve your opportunity to get out front to a lot of college coaches in your sport, right? And so, and if some of you all don't have the capacity, the time, parents, even you athletes, to reach as many college coaches as we have the capacity to do for you on your behalf. Get to a lot of them on a daily basis. And so you'll have that opportunity to get that information. But as I was starting to say, you can't, what we say is insane or insanity is doing the same thing and expecting some different results. Well, if you're doing the same thing and you haven't gotten the results that you're looking for and getting more offers and more visibility to college coaches, to get yourselves recruited at whatever level it may be, Division I, II, III, junior college, NAIA, to secure yourself a scholarship for your education and to continue playing and pursuing your dream of playing your sport. So I'm not talking about going pro. That may be an opportunity for some down the road. And also doing my digital course is also going to help you guys understand how to use today's environment, recruiting environment, to your benefit. I know we talk about the transfer portal being an issue for a lot of kids coming out of high school and not receiving the offers that they desire. Everybody can't go play Division I right out of high school. If you're not in the top for a football, if you're not in the top 3 to 500, it's going to be hard for you to go Division I. Okay, there are some coaches, as I've shared, this game is so demanding, and there's so much money involved in college sports when it comes to football and basketball, and pro sports. But as we're talking about college, there's so much money involved that there's a lot of pressure on these college coaches to win right now. And so they are looking for talent, whether it's coming out of high school or in the transfer portal. They are looking for that talent that's developed to the level that they can put on the field and help them secure their job and their livelihood and their dream of continuing to coach college sports, just like you want to play college sports. They have a family, situation that they're trying to make sure they can secure. You athletes now have NIL and profit sharing with the NCAA opportunities that we didn't have in the past, that you now have currently. And so because of those parameters being in place now, there's going to be more of a demand for winning and success for these coaches to try to retain their job at the highest level as head coaches, right? Or even OCs and DCs and assistant coaches, so they don't have to keep moving their families around. So, every so often. So these coaches are looking for stability in their job so they can have stability without having to move their families around all the time to continue their dream of coaching and helping to develop young men and young ladies in their respective sport that they're coaching. And so because of that demand on TV money and ticket sales and merch and all those different things, it's important that these coaches, these men and women that are coaching our young people in their sport, that they put a great product out on the field, right, on the court or wherever it may be, right, on the diamond, right. And so, but definitely we know the biggest money makers in college sports is football and basketball. Okay, so they come first, and then the other ones come down the line. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, and so, but you got to do something different. So that's why I say go evaluate your film, your video, see what you can do to improve from your up to your, like I said, you guys are mostly mid-season, and so you have an opportunity to go evaluate yourself, to kind of boost your visibility to college coaches, but also at the same time, if you're having a great season and you want to continue to play deep into the holiday time where you're going to playoffs and state championships, but for some of you guys who maybe are having bad seasons as far as your record is concerned, but statistically you may be having a pretty decent season, you may or may not be, but this is the time for you to evaluate and look at yourselves and say, okay, what can I do to improve? This is mid-season, and you got to be coachable. You got to be able to improve your play, right? You have to be sure, and it can't always be the coaches got to push you to help you get better and improve your play, or your parents, right, or your buddies. You got to have some self-initiative. You got to have some self-drive, some self-motivation, okay, to want to be better and want to get better. Scholarships aren't just going to magically happen because you're posting. It's great to post. Okay, these college coaches want things easy, and we provide a service that I'm connected with that can make things easy for college coaches and to get you out in front of them more frequently. And as you decide to sign up for my digital course, you'll get that information on how we can help you in that area. But right now, I'm just trying to encourage you right now, you got to ask yourself, would I recruit myself? You young guys, young ladies, would you recruit yourself? Go back and look at your film and see how well you're standing out in your videos. You know, are you that impactful person on the field? Are you that game changer? Right? Are you that motivator? Some of you guys right now may not, from what your season is looking like, you won't be in the postseason. But what are you doing to help the younger ones now by being a good example about still working hard, still producing, right? Still playing at another level compared to everybody else on the field. You're still playing at a high level, right? And those young guys are going to, glean from that and use that to help them be better next year. And also you can help encourage them on things that what they need to do to be sure they have a better season next season. So what are you doing right now, okay, to make a college coach want to recruit you if you don't have those offers right now, if you're a 2026, 2027 kid? What are you doing? What are you willing to put on you, right? To whom much is given, much is required, right? So if you want much, if you want the big offers and the big looks and all these different things from the college coaches giving you scholarship offers and NIL, to whom much is given, much is required, which means there's much that has to be required from you that you got to be willing to give and share. And it can't just always be about you, right? Or just about you, okay? So ask yourself, young lady, young man, athlete, student athlete, what are you willing to lay on the line, right? To not only just help you, but also help your teammates. So I put that out there is ask yourself, would I recruit me right now? Okay, and if you feel like you would recruit yourself, then why don't you ask yourself, then why don't I have more offers? Or let me ask you, why don't you have any offers at this point in time? Right? And you have to go sit down and have a hard conversation with your coaches, especially your head coach. And if your parent has to go with you, have your parent go with you. It's time out that these coaches have to understand. These high school coaches have to be put on notice and have to understand it ain't just about their program either. There are some of you young ladies and young men that are college material, college level kids that can go play at the next level, whatever level that may be. And they need to do their part in helping you get there. Because to me, if you're a high school coach, what is the point of you being a high school coach if you got some potential college athletes on your team and you're doing nothing to help them? Then you need to go find another job. Go do something else. Okay, go find you another career if you're not in the business helping young people be successful, right? And so it can't just be about, you as a coach having success. So I know some high school coaches may be, for whatever reason, might be jealous that they didn't get recruited like you did. There's a lot of reasons why some high school coaches don't do a good job of helping young people get to the next level. Or to me, if college recruiters are coming around and they have some sort of interest in you, I don't care what level these college coaches are coming from, you've taken time to go to camps, write letters, send emails, and you're drawing some interest, and that college coach your high school coach doesn't pull you out of class or bring you to the office to meet those college recruiters when they come by your high school to see you, then that person needs to go find another job. So apparently what you've shown them at the camp and what you've shown on video potentially is attracting these college coaches to come inquire about you from your head coach, because per NCAA rules, that's what they have to do. When they come on college campuses, you can't talk to a college recruiter certain times of the year without a high school coach being present. And normally, in most cases, it's your head coach, because they're probably a teacher or assistant director, athletic director, or the athletic director. And so they're being when these college recruiters come to recruit you in your sport because of your hard work, or you're getting your name out there, whatever the case may be, now even through social media, and they're coming on your campus, and you find out that somebody came on campus and your coach never communicated that to you, to me, that's a problem. And as a parent, you got to get involved in situations like that, because that happens more times than not. Okay, I'm just going to be honest and be real with you. I'm going to keep it 100, as you young kids say today. I'm going to keep it a buck, because that happens. And if you hear about something like that, you need to go sit down and have a conversation with your coach and ask, why did your coach not come, bring you into the conversation, bring you to come sit down and talk to that college recruiter along with your coach, because that should happen. Some of these high school coaches get caught up thinking that they know whether you're a Division I or Division II or Division III player, and they don't. They have some idea. I'm not saying they don't, but if you went to a camp and you stood out at a Division I camp, Division II camp, or NAIA camp, and you stood out, and these coaches are coming to talk to you, and it hadn't been communicated with you, that's a coach that has too much control and power. That the board, or whatever we want to call it, the parent board for these high school teams that you have, they need to address that. Okay. But you definitely need to evaluate yourself. You definitely need to work on having a good relationship with your high school coach. Okay. And parents need to do the same thing. You need to work on making sure that there's some great communication and there's some openness and there's honesty. I don't care if that coach, your high school coach, says he don't think you can play at a certain level or whatever the case may be. That's just their opinion. Okay, it doesn't mean it's factual. But they need to do everything they can. That they need to come alongside you. That if you've gone to camps and you've done some of those things that you needed to do to get some attention, and you've done a good job where there are some college coaches coming to see you and recruit you, because what happened is some of these coaches, college coaches, will just figure, oh, well, you're not interested. The coach didn't bother to come bring you into the conversation, or you gave the impression, they're not really, going to cooperate much when college coaches come by, whatever. So that's not good. So you got to step up, right? So if you haven't had a conversation, these are some things that you got to do different. This is what I mean by, you're doing the same thing where you really haven't talked to your coach and there's really hasn't been any conversation, where there needs to start being some conversation. You need to start having some conversation, because there should have been some conversation by your 10th or 11th grade year if you've been on varsity performing. Some of you have been on varsity since ninth grade, but some of you have been on varsity in 10th, of course, in 11th grade, and you've been maybe a big part of the team wherever you play. And maybe you have to also look at and consider some of the reasons why some of you may not have offers are you an all county player? Are you an all city player? Are you an all state player where you play? Because those lists are important that you need to get on for your position, right? Because they have all city, all county, some places all state, and also, nationally ranked kids. It's important that for your class, that you get listed on some of those lists for your class, for your position. And some of you might be on there for more than one position because you excel on offense and defense, or multiple positions on offense or multiple positions on defense. And you're a high performer. But it's important that if you want to get visibility, I'm dropping nuggets on you guys right now, and I haven't even started the digital course, but you got to get listed. You got to be, get to these camps, and you got to get, rated in your city, in your county, right? In your state. You need to definitely make those lists. Okay. You definitely need to make those lists. And if you are making those lists, then you should have some sort of feedback from colleges. Okay. And so you need to be sure you have that conversation with your coach. Stop assuming. Too many people are assuming things are happening and it's not happening. And you haven't had a conversation with your coach. And some of these coaches got to do a better job in making sure that they take the lead, because they're the adult in the room. And if they're the adult in the room, then they need to make sure they act like the adult in the room. And they need to come sit down like a grown man and a grown lady and help you young kids out about how this process works and how you need to go about it. Now, some of them don't know because they're all caught up in just coaching their high school sport, and they haven't done a good job of really keeping up with the recruiting space. They know a little about, oh yeah, just go on. I hear people say, coaches that work with me that are using my assistance, my service, and helping them with their recruiting, have told me, oh, the coaches say, oh yeah, just go out and post your stuff on X. No, there's some strategy to it. You just can't say, I'm just going to post on X. I mean, it's better than not doing anything. True. But don't just post on X. Okay. There are some things you need to do. And I know some kids do it on social media, and there's some things that they don't know that they should be doing better, right? This is why I'm taking the time today, to try to jump out here and let you guys know about the digital course on October 23rd that you can get signed up for. I got the information in the chat. So whether you're listening to me live or the recording, you have the subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. And so you'll be kept up to date with Love the Game 24/7 and Coach Smith. I'm live on IG right now. I'm live on YouTube. And I'm live on my Facebook. And I'm coming to you guys. Just like I said, the question is, have you received any offers from college coaches for your sport? And if you haven't received anything, then you got to do some different things. You got to take some self-initiative. You got to get with your parents. You guys need to have a meeting. You need to get with those that you work with, personal trainer for your position, for your sport. Find out who they're connected with and contacted with. I'm sure some of them do have some contacts. You got to stay on top of that stuff and see where it goes. Reach out to those people you need to reach out to. Get video footage and information to people. But remember, okay, for you recruits, man, film don't lie. Film does not lie. So you got to step your game up. So right now you're in mid-season. Season's still going on, still kind of early. Okay. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're in a situation right now. You're looking for all offers from at any level right now to get your education paid for, to go to college and continue your dream of playing your sport. And trust me, there are enough colleges in every sport at every level where you can fit in somewhere and get your education paid for and continue your dream of playing your sport. And then, get on my digital course and learn about how you can also use today's recruiting landscape with the transfer portal to your advantage and not to your disadvantage. I know a lot of things have changed with all that, but there are some advantages to that transfer portal that you guys got to learn how to use it to your advantage. I hear too many people complaining about this. No, ball out then, right? Ball out. If you think, the transfer portal is taking some scholarship opportunities from you, then what are you going to do? You got time right now. As I said, it's mid-season for you football players. Reevaluate yourself. Go sit down and look at your video footage. Get off the video games and watch your video game. Right? Did you get that? Get off the video games and watch your video game and evaluate yourself and ask yourself, would I recruit me? And if you can't honestly say from looking at your video game or your game on your video that you would recruit yourself, are you standing out? Are you an attention grabber? When I watch your video of your games, is it capturing my attention for me to get closer to my video or to hit rewind to see if that's what I really saw this kid do, right? Let me hit rewind. Let me take it back a little bit and make sure, am I seeing what I really thought I saw? Man, are you catching the attention of even yourself when you go back and watch yourself play? Like, man, boy, I made a play on that one, right? And right now you have time to correct some mistakes because every week, every day, you have a chance to get better. I tell my athletes when I was coaching for those 10 plus over decade in Florida coaching football and 5 years coaching track and field, I would tell my athletes, hey, on Monday, make all the mistakes you're going to make today. Let's get them out, right? Let's figure out what mistakes or what you don't know or what you're not understanding about certain plays we're trying to run, right? Or is your technique, we're taking an opportunity every day before practice to get stretched and warm up and do some technique drills, right? To make sure it's second nature to you and that you don't have to put a whole lot of thought in, if you're supposed to stay squared up when you're in your back pedal and when you need to turn your shoulders and get that and turn those hips, right? Lift that knee up and turn and drive, right? That knee and get those hips turned, have that flexibility, right? Get rid of that stiffness. Okay, so you have time to do all that stuff. So make sure you take some time and evaluate yourself, step your game up, right? right? We've seen that Under Armour video back in the day. Hey, step your game up. You got time now to make some changes and possibly still get maybe a high level of scholarship potentially, right? Because I know some guys have gotten, there's always injury concerns that come up with guys, and who knows if you're blessed to still be healthy. Everybody has some nicks and bruises from playing whatever sport it may be. If you've been blessed to be healthy, then take care of whatever those little nagging injuries that you have and get healed up, get rested, get refocused, right? Get refocused, get locked back in, okay? Because some of you may be having a bad season and it doesn't feel good right about now. So get refocused, right? Clear your mind, turn off the video games, go somewhere, get in a quiet space for about 30 minutes and visualize what your plans are going to be now for the rest of this other half of the season that I'm blessed to still have right now to possibly change my situation, because you can, right? And you can show that in your video. Yeah, or when a coach comes, yeah, man, I struggled a little bit somewhat during that first half of the season, but coach, if you go back and look at this other half of the season, how I stepped and turned it around, and I'm always hustling, my head is not dropped, my hands are not on my hips. I'm tapping some of my teammates on the butt, whether it's a bad play or whatever the play may be, encouraging them, right? We're encouraging each other, okay? And you come watch my game or watch me at practice and see what type of player I am and how I'm, zoned in and focused. And it's not just about me. Clean up some of that stuff, man. And then you also have some time right now to continue to use this digital course opportunity to learn how to step my game up outside the lines, right, of the playing field, on what I need to do on the business side of things and the marketing side and the promoting side of why you need me to be on your college team. Right? I'm telling you, I watch games on Saturdays, and it was some great games on Saturday. And glad my Canes, took care of business. I like Florida State, but I'm a Cane. I'm a diehard Cane. Y'all know what time it is, the U. You gotta just take this opportunity to improve, right, your techniques and get zoned in, because there is time for you to change, your exposure to be bigger and better to some of these college coaches, and you got to get locked in and learn that from getting it with this digital course, so you can hear some of the stuff that you can incorporate now, okay, and get yourselves on a better track to getting that attention. And then also just learn how it's not necessarily a bad thing, because like I said, everybody can't go Division I, and that's cool. But at some point you could potentially go Division I with the way this transfer portal is working, if you go get some college experience, right? And for some of you guys, you got to look at that, because you may be in a situation, like I said, where your coach is not really helping you out, and you'll take whatever you can get right now, right? And so you got to make sure you I follow coaches. There's some college coaches that follow me, and I send out and share that stuff with these coaches via DM, direct track to them. I don't do it on posting these coaches. I'll watch film. If I see something that stands out and coaches are asking, that I keep in contact with and touch bases with, man, I'm sending your video DM. Say, hey, check out this kid. But you got to understand, you got to give me something worth passing on to a college coach to look at, right? At your position. You can't just send, and some of you got to do a better job of giving good video footage, right? Clarity and clear that we can see you. Some of the best video footage is from the end zone. Well, if you're going to come from the sideline, you can't have stuff too far away. So if your parents have a really good phone to where they can get some of your video footage, if you're not getting it from your school, you need to be sure there's a parent, or you hire somebody to do some video footage for you. And if you can, get some end zone footage, right? That's some of the best footage to have, and make sure it's catching the whole field and catching you, right? And it's clear, okay, and it's visible to a coach. It's all about making it easy for these college coaches, right? They want easy. They don't want to have to be working too hard to try to find some great talent. They want, they got enough going on right now with trying to keep their job at the college level. Okay. And part of that is recruiting some great talent. Okay. So what are you going to do? What are you going to provide them to make them say, I need you? And what are you going to do? Because like I said, I watch games on Saturdays, as I was beginning to say before I lost my little train of thought, but I watch games on Saturdays right now. And when I see some talent some play on the field, guys on the field, I'm like, I already know, like, man, I need to reach out to that coach because you need some help at these positions. And I don't have a problem telling them, man, what I saw, and I point out to them, man, when I saw this game against such and such team, and I've watched you a couple of weeks, a few weeks, and from what I'm seeing, I got a young man right now, or I got a young lady right now that I know can help improve, you'll improve that position. Because what I saw, what I saw this past year during this game or these games, and the quality of talent that I saw, especially when I'm looking at receivers and running backs and DBs, man, I make note and stuff, man, like, oh, wow, I need to reach out to these coaches on that team because you need help at this position. You need some help. Okay. And I get my credentials so they'll know you aren't just speaking to somebody that don't know what they're talking about, because I had the blessing of following an older brother who played at every level. And I had the blessing of playing at every level, even though it was short-lived. I got the opportunity. And then I had the blessing of having my oldest son who decided he wanted to pursue college sports and beyond. And he's played at every level, NFL as well. So I'll give my credentials. So I know what I'm talking about. I've been around this game since I was 7 years old. I'm not going to tell how old I am right now, but I've been around this game a long time. I've seen a lot. I've coached some great talent. I've coached some talent at every level. And what I mean, every level as far as ability at the high school level, because I've only coached high school, but I've helped a lot of kids get beyond high school and into college. So I've coached some multi-talented kids, right? And some kids that I've seen and helped be a part of their development, growth and development. So I know what I'm talking about when I look at certain positions like that I look at most are running back, because that's what I was, a running back, DB, okay, wide receiver, okay. But I look at other positions as well, line, D-line, O-line, D-line, and linebackers. I look at all of it. And so I don't just watch those main positions that I share, with the running back and receiver and DB things, but I watch all positions. But when I see, certain guys not performing well and they're playing Division I football, and I know I got a kid in high school right now that I think has that ability to play at that level, I don't hesitate, man. I'll find that coach and try to DM them, let them know on their social media, hey, I got a guy. I saw what you just had this past couple of weeks, a few weeks watching. Oh, I got some guys that I need to turn you on to, coach, that you need to check out, right? And it's all about relationships. These college coaches will take any advantage that they can. That's what you guys got to understand, how to play the game. They're going to take any advantage to recruit a kid that they want at every level, Division I, II, doesn't matter, NAIA. If they know that this person, like myself, because Coach Smith has a connection with this young man and know the family. Well, guess what? We're gonna try to get in with Coach Smith to get us in that door, because maybe we don't have this kid's attention as much as we had hoped to have, because there's some other schools in our conference or in our division that he seems to be more interested in than we are. So college coaches are gonna find any angle to help themselves improve on an opportunity of getting a kid, a young man or a young lady, in whatever sport. They will do that. And so that's, what I'm trying to help educate and teach you parents and young athletes about how to go about this, how to improve your opportunities. Okay. And so, as I said, if you don't have any offers right now, and you're a 2026, 2027 kid, you don't have any offers, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting something different to happen. You got to step your game up. You got to look in some other ways of getting your name out there, your video out in front of people to want to look at, and some other things that I know we can do via email. And you guys got to understand who's looking at what. There's a lot of things happen before a head coach or a DC or OC looks at your film, and you'll learn this information when you decide to use Coach Smith digital course on October 23rd and get your spot reserved. Get your spot reserved. 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, already guaranteed. Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's only going to be about for 6 weeks, right? That I'll be doing this digital course on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I have a start time at 6 o'clock Central and 7 o'clock Eastern time, sharp, right? And it'll only be about an hour and a half. I have a PowerPoint presentation each night, and then we'll have a Q&A session, and then there's some other things that will go along with that as well that I'll share. So save your spot, guys. Get plugged in. I'm not going to, talk too much longer here, but I want to promote that digital course, college sports scholarship digital course for you parents and young athletes out there that you need to register for. The 15% discount code is out there, LTG247_FW2025 is the 15% discount code, and that's going to be out there for a limited time. So use that discount code right away. And as I said, whether you're watching me live or the recording, you need to make sure you get plugged in to get the information you need to change your situation of having more scholarship opportunities, right, or offers from college coaches in your sport. That's what this digital course is all about, trying to teach you how to give you an edge, how to give you that angle or advantage for somebody who's not getting this information that I'm going to be sharing, and taking you a deeper dive into how to make these things happen, right? Because I had to do some of this stuff. I learned this stuff on my own, stuff that I had to do to give myself an opportunity to get heavily recruited, okay? And so I'm sharing with you some personal experience for myself, what I've used for my son, and other kids that I've had the blessing of coaching and helping, right? And so get this opportunity, take this opportunity. You have to invest in yourselves, right? And it's always your time and sometimes your money, right? And I've been there and done it as well, time and money, okay? And things that are going to be like pretty much a guaranteed improvement in your recruiting opportunities, in your recruiting exposure to college coaches. So if you're still looking for that, and even for you classes beyond 2026 and 2027, and you still need some development, and you're in my area, if you're in the Dallas, Texas area, but we also have the ability to, you want to bring us out wherever you may be located, wherever you are in the country. Hey, we take opportunities to fly anywhere to help coach you up and develop you in your sport, especially with football and track and field. We have that capacity to help develop and do some personal training. And so for those of you who are in the Florida, Texas, North Carolina area, we have people, right, at every position that pretty much can help coach you up in football, in track and field. So this is Coach Smith, right? You can reach me by email, lovethe247game@gmail.com. That's all one word, love the, and the numbers 247game@gmail.com. Lovethe247game@gmail.com. But man, get yourselves registered for the digital course, man, for this 6-week course, right? At lovethegame247.com, right? Go out to lovethegame247.com, save and secure your spot, use the discount code that's in the chat, right? We're gonna answer questions. We're gonna, you're gonna have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm gonna take you through the different steps about the recruiting process for sports scholarships. I also want to remind you guys, I have over 20 years in financial aid, right? I also know how to help those students who aren't athletes find money and scholarship money as well. I'll be sharing some of that side of my experience as well outside of sports, with my background as a financial aid assistant director. And, since I've been in the financial aid business at several state universities, colleges, and community colleges. And I also have worked on the student lending side for lending money to students at the college level to help pay for their education. So I have a wealth of knowledge and experience, and I thank God for having an experience that I can help you parents and you young athletes and students out there get some great information on how to, how to supplement your education and get it paid for, where it's less money that you have to borrow and all those other things because of the opportunities that are out there through sports and through academics, grants and scholarships. So don't hesitate to get yourselves registered with Coach Smith and lovethegame247.com. So I look forward to seeing you guys register and get yourselves secured. And so I appreciate you joining me, and have a great rest of the afternoon and enjoying some NFL football today and tomorrow, Monday Night Football. I hope you're doing well on your fantasy football. I'm part of a fantasy football. I'm doing so right now. So I think today we're kind of looking kind of up, but it's been fun. And so I enjoyed talking with you guys this Sunday afternoon. But as I said, once again, do you have any offers from any college coaches right now? And if you don't, you got to do some things different. So I look forward to helping you do some things different to help you gain more exposure with college coaches and getting those offers that you've been looking for. Have a great day.